I'm Ashton Addison from EventChain for Investment Pitch Media and the Crypto Coin Show. And today on Blockchain Interviews, we have Justin Hartzman, the co-founder and CEO of CoinSmart. Justin, welcome to the show, and thanks for taking the time to be here.
Ashton, it's my pleasure. Thanks for having me.
I'm really excited for our discussion on CoinSmart. I know you guys have a lot of updates recently and some big milestones, but we could just kick off the interview by getting a little bit of background on yourself, how you first got involved with Bitcoin, and what made you start CoinSmart.
Absolutely. Myself and my two co-founders, we've known each other since we're 6 years old. We've been in business with each other for over 20 years. And really, the genesis of CoinSmart came out from the need to have a hobby. My wife said to me, Justin, get a hobby. You need to do something other than work all the time. And in true entrepreneurial spirit, hobbies typically turn into businesses, and that's exactly what this did. So out of a lunch and learn about crypto that I was giving to people around a pool in Florida turned into our vision for the company. When 1 hour to try and get someone on a platform took 4 days, I knew 3 words were super important. We live by those 3 words in everything that we do today, which is making cryptocurrency accessible. And that's what we're doing. We're creating a platform. We've created a platform that allows anybody at any level of trading abilities or crypto knowledge to come in and buy and trade. But more importantly, from having the easiest tools, giving them all the advanced tools to become an advanced trader and letting anyone in the gambit go from A to Z in a full service platform like we have at CoinSmart.
That's a great overview, Justin. And what would you say makes CoinSmart unique? And do you have a competitive advantage over others that are looking to get people involved with cryptocurrencies for the first time?
Absolutely. I think the bottom line, there's a couple of things that are super important. They really circle around that making cryptocurrency accessible, which is trust. We've taken a regulatory approach first, which I think is vital. While it may have stammered some growth at the beginning, building the best platform for future growth. So I'm excited by that. And second of all, is keeping our customers, our clients, our users as the #1 focus in everything we do. We are the only platform worldwide that does 24-hour a day, 7-day a week omni-channel support. So live by chat, by phone, email, social media, whichever way you want to contact us, we're there to service you and help you in any needs that you have. So that's really making it more accessible, letting them get on the platform. And then what we do from there, which I think is unique, is we help educate. So we offer every piece of content that we do, whether it's an article, a blog post, a how-to guide in 3 forms: smart, savvy, and genius. 2-minute form, 5-minute form, and essentially white paper form. So you can go from learning a little bit to having a basic conversation and leveling yourself up all the way along to go from a crypto buyer or seller to a full-on trader.
Wow, that's great. And I love that you really cater it. Some people, they just need the 2 minutes, and some people really need to dive in. So it's great to have that diversification there. Now, I know you've been working at this for a while now. I just want to hear a little bit about the journey. Can you talk about, when did you start CoinSmart? How has it been growing, and where are you primarily operating right now?
Yep. It's a great question. We started at the absolute worst time in the market, mid 2018, around June, July, we launched right in time for crypto winter. So it was a hard slog at the beginning and hard to get through it. We had some real stumbling blocks, but we knew being really early, being still in the first half of the first inning of this cryptocurrency game or whole ecosystem, that we had to get through it. So, 2019, we started seeing some traction and started building up, and every quarter from quarter 2 2019, we've been growing month over month, quarter after quarter, year after year. We're now 30,000 plus validated trading customers here in Canada, and we just launched our doors, opened our doors for a soft launch into Europe, where we have a 330,000 person waiting list to get on live. So we're super excited to open our doors fully into Europe over the next quarter as we continue to build out our team, our services, and our rails, and make it very, again, accessible to all people. And then from there, we're looking to be in Australia by end of year, and then into Latin America in 2022, sorry.
Wow, that's impressive. And 330,000 people, that is insane. It just shows the demand and the interest for these types of assets at this time right now. And that's great to hear that you are expanding. And I was reading that CoinSmart recently closed a $4.5 million seed funding round. So first of all, congratulations on that. That's amazing.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. And just to put that into context for anyone who's not in the Canadian market here, that's a big seed round, and we went to raise 3 million. We oversubscribed and stopped the round at 4.5. So we're really proud of what my team's done to allow me to go to work and do what I need to do to help bring in more funds to grow this company and scale it at a faster rate.
Definitely, and it is a lot of work, distracting from the actual operations of the business to raise capital and put yourself in a position to be able to close that and now move forward. So with that now closed, what are the next steps in terms of you actually utilizing that capital and using it to expand the business?
Yeah, it's a great question. Well, also an announcement that just went out a week or two ago is our go public strategy. So we're working on going public right now. We'll know more about that and get more news into the future. So super excited about that. Just finished a roadshow on that side of things, which we'll announce shortly. So lots in the pipelines, but this money is really going to help build out, strengthen our bench, bring in some really key players. On the 15th, I have a chief compliance officer coming from one of the largest financial institutions in Canada to join our team, which is exciting. Across the financing team, new developers. We're working on products to get to market, so lending and margin trading in Europe, and then hopefully once regulation comes into place back here into Canada. So we'll be putting some research and development there. We're also doing some M&A or looking at some M&A opportunities for pick and axes in our space, as well as building out further product lines like compliance software and banking solutions. Because what we're looking to become over the next 18 months is a full-fledged financial institution based on cryptocurrency. So everything, the holistic approach from bank accounts, saving, debit cards, credit cards, so you can go in and out of your own bank account, right on a platform, trade right from your account, lending, margin, futures, and then right back to your bank account to spend it as you want in a normal method, or keep it on platform. So really giving them everything they need, which includes, the security features, custodial features, banking, and all the trading platforms that we do have.
Wow, that's a big feat, and I'm looking forward to seeing how that plays out. And it's great to see that these digital assets are getting to that financial institution level where all of a sudden cryptocurrency startups are turning into financial institutions in the future of finance. This is super exciting.
Great. It's super exciting. And then with all that stuff, we have these great, DeFi's coming into place. So looking at that, NFTs, which I think are really interesting to picking up steam right now. So we look at all those pieces, and again, just want to be the place where you can go, know very little, be interested, and get exposure to all these other things that get exciting as you learn more, or you want to get involved in more. So really giving, again, that holistic, full circle approach, and not run into issues that you traditionally would now with your banks not sending wires when you might want to do them, or holding transfers in and out. We're really solving that for everyone as best as we can.
Definitely. And yeah, in the past, it seemed there had been, some people were having issues just moving back and forth between financial institutions into the digital asset space. Now, in terms of, your perspective into the Canadian landscape, at what stage do you sort of see virtual currency adoption in Canada? How early or how late are the people that are getting involved right now? And where do you see that heading maybe in the next 12 months?
Yeah, it's a great question. I've talked about this before, but I guess most people know the S curve of adoption. I believe we're at the inflection point of, we're not on the flat where people are understanding it. We're starting to move up into the parabolic growth. I think we haven't reached it yet, but we're actually taking that little corner where we are to move forward. Some more Canadians are more interested in it. They're learning more. There's more trust in the market as they see real players being here. And we see some of the bigger financial institutions, as well as the institutional players playing within it. So again, I think we're still quite early, still in the first half of that first inning, but I do think we're past that little curve where we're going to start seeing that trajectory upwards right now here in Canada and abroad. So I think we're in a really good space, you and I and all the people who are listening today, in early, and really let's see where we can take this, because there's a long road ahead of us of continuing to show great products, great services with really big companies that can help you do that and have trust in.
Definitely. And, it's great to be focused in where we live here in Canada. But you mentioned that you're also expanding out into Europe and just elsewhere internationally. And, there's only so many people in Canada. And it's sort of small compared to, the States and Europe and everywhere else. So how do you see, the base of your operations as you continue to grow? Do you see, more business coming outside of Canada, even though you're a Canadian business?
Well, I think just naturally based on the size of market, like you're saying, that we're going to, that are extremely larger than we are here in Canada. So that by nature, differently than the other exchanges here in Canada, our whole plan is to expand and make our offering bigger. While we can do that, we can offer more liquidity, we can offer more
Hmm.
products, have more services to bring back and offer here as regulation allows us. And that's really one thing that we're working as much as we possibly can, very tightly knit with the regulators in Canada. Great relationship with them. They're doing awesome stuff to help us innovate. I think that's part of having the discussion with them so that we can, instead of Canadians having to come to an exchange like ourselves, buy cryptocurrency and shipping it off to an offshore exchange or something across the world, where there is no protection for them. How can we keep
Hmm.
that in somewhere that they trust right on the soil here, and provide them the services they want in Canada? So that's something that we work on every day. And really big part of my job is to help explain that, move forward, and to get regulation on our side to help us accomplish those pieces.
Definitely, and I'm glad that you're talking about regulation. There's been some people that are in Canada that have used exchanges that were in Canada before that didn't really have those regulatory pieces, in place perfectly. Some of those people ended up, in a bad position. How do you see, CoinSmart taking that regulatory stand and actually, do you see you guys being the exchange in Canada that's actually, it's safe, that obviously safety is going to be one of the top priorities of funds, and just the security in terms of, the one-stop shop for Canadians?
Well, I think it's a great thing. And yes, that is what we're working towards. That's exactly what we want to be. Part of, again, I'll go back to it because it's so important to what we're doing, making cryptocurrency accessible.
Mm-hmm.
Trust is one of the biggest pillars within that. Being under a regulatory body, working with them, not against them,
Mm-hmm.
offering, insight. Another reason why, a public, we're taking that public position to the future and working towards that is this information should be readily available to the people out there. Privately held, very close to tight knit, doesn't offer as much, transparency as those things do to create more trust within that market and help these people understand what we're doing, how we're doing it, and what way we are protecting them across the board. So all part of what we're looking to accomplish.
Definitely. And what would you say will be one of the key factors for the success of CoinSmart in the future, and just to get Bitcoin adopted by more Canadians?
Yeah, I think it's just continuing to do what we're doing now, helping make it accessible, helping them get there, being there to support them, offering the product that they need that they have to be searching to other places to do, de-risking those by offering, institutional grade custodial services, having trust within what we're doing and having oversight from different regulatory bodies is just, that's the key factor to all of
Mm-hmm.
this. So I think all those things are what's going to help. And then I think as we hear more news of institutional players getting involved, whether it's in Canada or abroad, that brings more, that's, if we look at the price of Bitcoin and where it's going, that helps with growth of the market. What's happening now is we have institutional players buying large sums of them and really being very helpful in a supply and demand problem by taking those big chunks out of the market.
Mm-hmm.
They're not being traded in out, they're going to cold storage away. And as people hear about that and understand those companies who are doing it and believe in those companies, they're going, oh, this might be something that I want to come in. So you have the masses following on.
Mm-hmm.
So making it easy for those masses to follow along. And again, supply versus demand, less supply in the market, more demand for it.
Mm-hmm.
We see price action upwards. So I think, again, I don't make any price predictions. That's not my job. I'm not allowed to do that. But again, being early in the space, I have, like you said it before, the moon is really like, maybe that's the stopover on the way to out of the galaxy. So I don't know where we're going to go with it. And I do think that we have a long road, as I say, green pastures, blue skies ahead of us in the space.
Definitely, Justin. And on the flip side of that, of course, there's going to be challenges and obstacles to overcome on the way. Do you have any specific challenges or obstacles that you foresee overcoming to bring mainstream adoption to CoinSmart?
Well, I think it's going to go back to that regulation piece. I think that's changing and ever changing as being in multiple jurisdictions over time. Again, we're Canadian right now focused, but being in multiple jurisdictions, we have to think about that in every single place and follow those rules very specifically, and ensure that our teams and have specific teams in locations that are trained based on those laws, KYC, AML, and the regulatory compliance. So I think that's the biggest hurdle that we're going to have to continue to face. but an important hurdle, not something that I look as a roadblock, but as something that might be a stumble for us to get there, but will lift us up higher when we actually make those things into reality.
Yeah, definitely. Well said, Justin, and I agree. It is troublesome to have, different jurisdictions have different laws, and every country, if you're in a continent that has 30 countries and they all have different laws, and you have to, make little adjustments for each place. That is, it's tough, but it's obviously something that you have to do as a business. So,
but to that point, though, I think that when we look at the jurisdictional laws, in each of these places and regulation, it only makes us stronger in every one of our wherever else that we are. If there's something that they're bringing on because it's important to them, well, why don't we look at that across the board everywhere? It's for our users, our investors' protection, consumers, customers' protection, and that's what we want to continue to do. Again, it's so important. It's not easy, but I think that's why we will get ahead and we'll continue to be a major player in this space.
Very well said, Justin. And we're running out of time, but how can the viewers learn more, get involved, and start using CoinSmart?
Yeah, just go to the website, go sign up. Very easy, instant to do so. We have our Get Smart section, our blog, and just talk to our team. They're ready to talk to you. If you have questions, you want to understand more, you want to get involved, that's the first place to start. And I wish everyone the best. This is a great market to be in, a volatile one that's fun. And as I say to everyone, let the trend be your friend.
Great. Thank you so much for your time, Justin. All the best with CoinSmart moving forward, and let's follow up in the near future.
I appreciate it, Ashton. Have a great day.